So this is the 90-90 test. So here we're testing for mobility in the shoulders and for scapular stability. So let's go ahead and show you the test. So first we're going to stand up nice and tall, get your shoulder and elbow at 90 degrees. That's why it's called the 90-90 test. And from here we're going to externally rotate that arm here. And we're going to look at where we are in relation to our spine angle. So you imagine a line going straight down here. We're going to test for which bucket are we in. Are we equal to the spine angle? Are we less than the spine angle? Or are we more than the spine angle? So to pass this part of the test, we're looking to see if you can get greater than 90 degrees. If that's 0 degrees, that's 90. Can you get past 90 degrees? Most PJ and LPJ tour players will get to 120 degrees. Okay, so that's the first part of this test. Then we're going to test this in the 5-iron posture. So I want you to get in your 5-iron posture here and then do the exact same test. Now this time we're looking to see is can we get the same as when we were standing? So are we equal to the spine angle? Are we less than the spine angle? Or are we greater than the spine angle? So if you are greater than the spine angle when you're standing, that means you've got good mobility in the shoulders. If you then get into your 5-iron posture and you can't even get to equal with your spine angle, then it would show that there's a scapular stability problem. So if you retract, so this is retracting your shoulders, that's protracting your shoulders. If you retract your shoulders, you'll see that you'll get an increase in your external rotation. If you protract, you'll see that that rotation will become limited. So this is why when we get into our posture, you see people with this protraction here. It's very, very difficult for them to get this shoulder externally rotated, and that again is showing signs of a postural or scapular stability problem. So let's talk about how this test relates to the golf swing. Of course, we'll also test both sides, the trail and the lead side, with the 90-90 test. But let's talk about the right-handed golfer for a moment. So let's focus on the trail side in the backswing. So you'll see most players on the PGA Tour, when they get to the top of the swing, they'll have this right arm in this sort of position. Not always the case. You see people like Freddie Couples, #1 in the world for a long time, who had this flying elbow. And look, that's fine. It can be a style trait as well. But what does matter is can we do this? Can we get that shoulder externally rotated? Because what will happen if, for example, you're struggling you don't have that mobility, then what you may see is in the backswing, firstly, you may injure your shoulder, which obviously we don't want. What you may also see is in an effort to get this club where you want it, you may see a standing up or a loss of posture, a flat shoulder plane, an early extension. All these kind of things may show up as well. Also in the downswing, so in an effort to get this club, there's a few different ways we can get this club on plane. So it's really important to, in the downswing, get this club on plane or shallow the club out in order to produce the desired ball flight. So there's 3 ways really you can do this. Firstly, you can be a player that swings over the top, and then to correct that, they'll early extend, which gets the club on plane. Not the greatest way to do it, but it can still work. Another way is when you get to the top to externally rotate that shoulder there, that'll get the club on plane. And the third way is when you get to the top is start with the lower body. So you let lower body goes first, and that gets the club on plane. So that's 3 ways there that it will show up in the downswing. Then on the through swing as well, let's talk about the lead arm just for a moment. So if you have a mobility problem or external rotation problem on this side, how that may show up is as you come through impact, what we'd ideally like to do is externally rotate the shoulder as we come through into this sort of position. If we're unable to do that, what you may see is this is quite common, the chicken wing here. That's quite dangerous, can cause a few issues, not only strike problems, but also injury-wise as well. So there are a couple of ways in which it can show up in the golf swing. Now there are a number of ways that as a coach I would work around this limitation if you're someone who struggles with that external rotation. One of the ways, if you are struggling, particularly on the downswing, to externally rotate the shoulder, then you may see, as I mentioned before, the club coming a little bit more out here, and that's okay. Of course, that's going to change a few things in the strike pattern of the ball and the swing direction, but what we can do to work around that, so instead of trying to get in this perfect position at the top, instead we will often, or I will often get a player to swing a little bit deeper, get the hands a little bit deeper in the backswing here, so it gives you less work to do to get the club back on plane. So it's almost like creating more of a one plane swing, but that's one way to work around this limitation and just be okay with, okay, the club comes, or the elbow comes out here a little bit, that's fine, that's fine. We can still hit some good shots from this position rather than trying to force a player to get here when they physically can't. So always make sure that your right arm position matches what you're physically able to do. And a couple of little exercises you can do to help set you in a better position, particularly with your posture, is W turns. So grab your club, pop it behind your shoulders here. You'll see that'll get my shoulders a bit more retracted, and then just make some turns here and get that feeling of what that feels like to have your shoulders back. Another one that's really good is I call angel wings. So you can stand up against the wall and get your shoulders back and just do this motion for a little while. Do a few of these and then go straight into your posture and just feel what that feels like now to have the shoulders set back. Again, that's going to make it easier for you to externally rotate. But again, just make sure that you're moving in the way that your body allows, or of course you can go and see a TPI certified physio or somebody that can help you improve some of these areas if it's something you're looking to improve in your golf swing. So I hope you found that helpful. Any questions, please post a comment below, and I do look forward to helping you optimize your swing very, very soon.